I think the speed at which communications has rapidly transformed over the last 4 years since the last cycle has been tremendous. The intensity, largely caused frankly by social media, has been much, much more intense since last cycle. And I think the second thing is that we're seeing this really high level of frustration to some degree with politics as usual, and a real yearning by Americans to get involved in the process. You saw those first numbers of the debate, over 30 million, a huge increase in terms of anything historically before that. That says to me that there's a lot of people that have an interest, but there's also a lot of frustration out there. Well, I think it's not just Donald Trump. I think you look at Carly Fiorina, you look at Ben Carson, and on the Democratic side, you look at Bernie Sanders. I think there's a frustration with what's going on in Washington right now. All of the 17 candidates on our side are trying to tap into the same feeling. They want to talk about their leadership, their vision, how they're going to get things done and move the country ahead. But I think the American people have really finally had it, if you will, with business as usual, talking points, and they want someone who they really feel is authentic. And frankly, I think Donald Trump, both being an outsider and a businessman who has accomplished something, is tapping into a strain that the American people really are looking for right now. I think in every one of those cases, we looked back on the previous cycle and redefined it. So heading into the 2008 election, no one knew that it was going to be the Twitter election until it was done. And they said, based on how the Obama campaign effectively used Twitter, said, redefined it as the Twitter election. I think this time, I don't know, is it Snapchat? Is there another tool out there? There's something called Sidewire that's just being launched. That's really a tool for more people to weigh in on stories and have a different narrative. I think there's a lot of tools out there that have the potential to shape the way going forward. What I think might be different is that instead of one particular tool being the defining platform for the election, you might see 3 or 4 or 5, and there might be a difference between parties, and that's going to be an interesting thing, or a difference between what opinion leaders are using and what grassroots folks are using. You've seen a lot of use of video. Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, even Lindsey Graham with his cell phone, crushing his cell phone after Donald Trump put his number out there. All of those used a bit of humor, a bit of outside the box thinking. Ted Cruz did it where he tried to cook, bacon with a shotgun. Rand Paul did one where he cut the tax code with a chainsaw. Most cases you're seeing video as the means by which to communicate that, get that word out.